Jamal Crawford, who played for the Clippers under Sterling, finished his career with the Suns under Sarver, and tweeted this earlier today after the news broke. Sterling 2.0 and seen this movie before was another tweet that he had. So Ramona, you were on the forefront of all the reporting surrounding Donald Sterling. What are you hearing about why the punishment was different here for Sarver versus for Sterling?
Okay, so there's a couple main differences. When Donald Sterling was caught by his former mistress or V. Stiviano on tape making these horrible statements. He said, you know, don't bring black people to my games. He said, who makes the game? I make the game. They don't make the game. I mean, it was articulating a very racist worldview that everyone could hear because it was released publicly on TMZ. This is obviously Baxter's done incredible reporting. There was an extensive extensive investigation of the situation, but I think sometimes it's a little different when you have, you know, you catch somebody red-handed and everybody can hear it on tape. Number two, I think, and this is just important to note, Adam Silver banned Donald Sterling for life, but he did not force him to sell the team. If that makes sense, okay? He banned him for life, and if there was going to be a vote for the Board of Governors to force him to sell the team, if 3/4 of the owners had voted on that. But before they ever took a vote, his wife, Shelley Sterling, decided to sell the team. So this situation may come to that also. The punishment of 1 year and suspension and a $10 million fine, depending on how Robert Sarver wants to handle this going forward. Donald Sterling, when he was banned for life and fined $2.5 million back in 2014, he sued the NBA and a bunch of other people in a suit for $1 billion. They ended up in court. He ended up suing his wife at one point. And I sat in a courtroom as they articulated that. And one of the things that came out in that court case that ended up being with his wife, okay, and whether she had the ability to sell the team without him agreeing to it, because Shelley Sterling sold the team without Donald Sterling participating in that sale. And that's a whole other long story of how she was able to do that. But when she was in court arguing why she did it, she showed that the team was in a financial crisis because all the advertisers and sponsors had pulled out of sponsoring the team and had threatened the NBA with that. Right. That showed that this situation with Sterling was financially damaging the league and the Clippers, and gave Adam Silver the ability to act, quote unquote, within the best interest of the league. Baxter's story came out a year ago.
Ramona.
Have you seen the sponsor pull out?
I don't care about the sponsors.
I know.
I don't care about the audio. I read everything. Everything this dude did. There's no excuse. He should be banned. I don't know how he gets a pass. I don't care about the owner's vote. He should be banned. And then he can figure out if he wants to go to the game or not. There's no way he's not banned and wants to keep this team. They need him out. The big difference to me is that this didn't happen during the season. If this happened during the season, Chris Paul's going through this again, then I think that, yeah, the players, maybe this time they make the right move, and instead of throwing their damn shirts, which did nothing.
Well, and Marc, you were there
actually, and I was at that game, they actually don't play at all. And so I'm curious to see what Book does. DA, CP, when you guys get back, this doesn't go away. He needs to go, period. And I don't see how he sits courtside again or anything like that. He just needs to be out. I mean, I don't need an audio. I read it affected too many damn people. I just don't understand it. And I love Adam. He's done some amazing things, but this is a mistake.
I think that it's not our place sitting here today to negotiate a better or worse scenario here. These are two separate scenarios, both with completely unacceptable behavior. But as Ramona pointed out, one thing that I'm going to be keeping an eye on here is what happens next, because I do not think that this is the end of the story. It was interesting that Zach Lowe pointed out earlier, should it have to fall on the players to make this decision?
Well, it didn't. It fell on the NBA, they didn't do it.
But it very well may.
Yeah.
Last time, in some ways, it did too, and you and I talked about this a lot in some of the podcasts that we did together on this, and also in the reporting. First, it was up to the players to make a statement before they played a playoff game up in Oakland, and then there was a league-wide reaction. In this situation, we've had a year since Baxter's story. Okay, so there's been a year
Pulitzer story.
for that story to come out and people to react. Now this report has come out. It's interesting that they had the report come out before, at the same time as the punishment.
Yeah, it has been very interesting to watch the reaction continue to pour out over the course of the day.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.